Hi guys, my name's Malcolm Sparks, this is Joe.
Hello.
And we've got Vicky today, who's my niece, who's operating the camera. We are Craven Jewellers, and I'm standing in our workshop, well our showroom actually, above our workshop. This is the beloved wedding ring showroom. We're on the High Street in Yeadon. We've had a retail shop here since 1968. My parents set up the business. As I said, we're a family business. Predominantly retailing, but really we are manufacturing jewellers. We have our own workshops downstairs. We make jewellery, we bespoke make jewellery, we do a lot of repair work as well. So we are a family business. It's my sister and myself. We're both trained as jewellers. In fact, my sister went to the Royal College of Art and she is a Master of Arts in designing and making jewellery. So we've had a lot of experience in the jewellery industry. About 7 or 8 years ago, we decided that retail was taking a different direction with the advent of the internet, and we decided to create our own wedding ring range, which started off as a small range of wedding bands, which has gradually grown over the last few years, and it's become the major part of our business. So we got involved with Fayres Yorkshire and a number of other event companies, and we started doing the wedding fairs around the region, in the small hotels and also the bigger venues that Fayres Yorkshire operate. So this is our showroom. So if we saw you at a wedding fair, not a virtual wedding fair, a proper wedding fair, we would have all our wedding rings with you. We have a stand with us, and we have a stand, and we would have our display there, and we would just go through all the possibilities. Now, there are a lot of possibilities with wedding rings, and that's not widely known because a lot of jewellers will just be showing you a pad of wedding bands or a small selection. We make everything in-house, so we have hundreds of different designs. Every one of those can be tailored to suit your needs. So specifically with a lady's wedding band, if you want it to actually match the lady's your engagement ring, you want the profile to be the same as the shank on the back of the band, and you want to be able to have it whatever width suits your finger as well. Now that's something that not everybody can do, but because we're not generic about the style of ring, we can tailor it to your exact requirements, and that's something that's really important to us. So for example, you show me your engagement ring, you've got diamond set shoulders, you want diamond set in the wedding band. We can put as many or as few diamonds in as you want. I can show you some of the samples we've got, but nothing is set in stone. We can tailor it to your specifications and also to your budgets as well, which is quite important. You want to be getting something that you're entirely satisfied with, and that's something that's really, really important to us. So we'd look at your engagement ring, we'd determine what metal it was made of, whether it's platinum, whether it was 18-karat white gold, yellow gold, 9-karat white gold, palladium, whatever metal it was, and we would then be able to make your wedding band in exactly the same metal. And that's really important as well, because metals of different hardnesses rubbing against each other can create wear against the two rings. So we take all that into consideration. We also take into consideration the profile of the band, the back of the shank. As I said, that's important to us, that we don't get one ring sitting higher than the other, so the inside edge to the outside edge is measured the same. And also the width of the band. If you bought a ring from a high street jeweller and you saw a wedding band to match it, usually that wedding band is one particular width. We can do it in whatever width you wanted. We can make it in a 2mm, 2.2mm, 2.3mm. So if you've seen a band that you like for your engagement ring, to match your engagement ring, but you thought it was a little bit too wide or a little bit too narrow, but you like the design and you wanted it made a little bit broader or narrower, then that's something we can do, because as I say, everything's done in our own workshop. And that's you know, the way we do it. So it's a bespoke service, but not necessarily at bespoke prices, because it's effectively us as manufacturing jewellers making to you guys. And so we've got a massive range of wedding rings, ladies' wedding rings. We do plain bands, we do shaped rings, we do diamond set rings. But equally, if you said, Malcolm, we've got, I like that particular diamond set ring, but I want sapphires in my rings, or I want rubies in my rings, or I want yellow diamonds, or I want pink diamonds, then we can do that. We can alternate them. We can do whatever stone you want. So, you know, we engage with you. This is where you'd come. You'd come into our showroom. It's a beautiful air-conditioned showroom. We'd sit down with you for an hour or so, and you tell us what you're looking for, and we will do our very best to try and make that ring for you. And if you look on our Facebook site, you'll see the reviews. It's something that we're really trying hard to make the perfect ring for you. I'm going to pass you over to Jo, because she can tell you a little bit more about.
One of the things that we can specialise in as well is using emotional gold. Quite a lot of people are left jewellery, whether it's wedding bands or from grandmas or great grandmas, and they're not sure what to do with them, and they're just sat in a jewellery box. We're actually able to use that gold, even if it's yellow and you're wanting a white gold ring. There are options available to you where we can either line the inside of the ring, or even add it on the outside. So that's something that we do specialise in, and a lot of people do like that, just keeping that sentiment going. So that's one of the things that we can do for you. Also, just a quick bit about our awards, really. We're really proud to win these awards as an independent jeweller for the north of England. We've won the I Do Award for the last 2 years for Best Jeweller, and we're also a finalist for this year's award. And we've won the North of England Wedding Award for the last, I think, 4 years now for outstanding customer service. And this year, for the first time, we have won the Corporate Leeds Live for Best Jeweller in Leeds, which, again, as an independent jeweller, family business, we are really, really proud of. We all work as a team, and it's just great accolade to win these awards. I think Malcolm's going to mention about the men's rings now.
Yes, I will. I'll talk about men's rings. I'd forgotten all about the emotional gold, actually, but I do think that's something that we do an awful lot with. People bring in grandparents, parents' gold jewellery, and we can melt that down, and we can create your perfect ring from that emotional gold. Now a lot of historic gold is yellow, and I know a lot of young couples these days want white gold, but yellow gold can be used, as Jo said, on the line, on the inside, which is nice because it's always close to your skin. And especially if it's a loved one that you've lost, it's something that can be really important. And that jewellery, those old wedding bands can be just sat in a jewellery box and not being used. So it's something that we do a lot of. We also do a little what we call emotional heart pendant as well, which works really well. And a lot of brides have had grandparents' rings made into little hearts, like a Tiffany heart. But that's a really good point, actually. Just using that gold is something that can be done. Equally, we do a part exchange service with our gold. So if you've got some old scrap gold that mum's got sitting around in a jewellery box, or you have, and it's not being used, we can part exchange that against the cost of your wedding bands. But that's just something aside, but it's worth mentioning. Gents' wedding rings. Gentlemen don't necessarily engage straight away, but funnily enough, and we meet them at the shows, we meet them at the live shows, and there's quite often a disinterest. It's usually the ladies that are really engaging with us when we're talking about the wedding bands. But I'll tell you, when they come into the showroom, it's usually the gents, the men, that actually really engage, because it's something that they're not familiar with. For a lot of men, it's the first time they've ever worn a piece of jewellery, or certainly maybe a ring. So when we start talking about how we can produce it and the technicalities of it, I do get that sort of vibe that a lot of guys really sort of take to it. And the ladies I can sort of deal with very quickly, and then the men sort of engage in every aspect of the manufacturing side of it and whatever needs to be done. So yeah, we'd go through that with you. We've got hundreds and hundreds of different designs for men's rings. We work in all the different precious metals, so we work in platinum, palladium, the two standards of palladium. We work in 18 karat white gold, we work in 9 karat white gold, so all of the precious metals. We try and steer away from titanium and also tungsten steel, simply because they're not really jewellers' metals, they're not a practical metal for us as jewellers to work with. They can't be sized. For the future, if your finger swells equally, they can't be cut. So that's another very important point. So we stick to the precious metals. Now we work with platinum, which is probably the most noble of metals and also the hardest metal. Traditionally, it's been the most expensive, but palladium has been very popular, and palladium has actually increased in price quite significantly over the last few years. So palladium for us at the moment has probably been the most popular metal. We work with a palladium 950 standard and a 500 standard. Now that's basically two alloys of palladium. Now palladium, if you think of palladium, pure palladium being 1,000 parts pure, the 950 standard is a 950 parts pure palladium, 50 parts of the metal. 500 standard is a 500 parts pure palladium and 500 parts of the metal. Now the 500 actually is a darker metal. That's probably been the most popular metal that we've been using recently. However, we've made in silver, we've made in 9 karat white gold. So lots and lots of different designs. As we mentioned before about there's hundreds here actually, but we mentioned before about the two coloured golds. We're able to utilise gold and palladium, gold and platinum, so we can do two colour gold. We've been doing a lot in rose gold, which has been terrifically popular over the last year or two. So again, same thing with gent rings as with ladies rings. We can make whatever width you want. We can also make whatever depth you want. So you came into our showroom, you'd sit down with us, you'd have that consultation, and we'd talk to you about what you do for a living, what sort of weight, because obviously there's different weights of metals. Platinum, the specific gravity of platinum is far greater than palladium, so that's something to just take into consideration that you wouldn't necessarily think about if you were walking into a high street jeweller. The most important thing for us is making sure that you've got exactly what you want when you walk out of here. And even if you don't decide to buy from us, you'll come out with a lot more knowledge than you went in, you come to us with, because that's really important. We understand jewellery, it's in our veins. We've been doing it for so many years. We understand every aspect of creating that perfect ring for you. So what we'd say to you is that, when you're ready, whenever your wedding is, come in to give us a call. I'll pass you over to Joe to go through all the ways you can contact us. But we would really love to meet you. We'd love to be able for you to sit in this showroom and go through all those possibilities. As I say, it's, I fully understand every aspect of jewellery, and my team does as well. And this is something that we are really passionate about. So I'll pass you over to Joe and just let you
what we'd also like to offer on our wedding bands, if you were to obviously come in and choose them from us, we would offer you 15% discount. We also offer free engraving on the inside of your wedding bands, which generally tends to be the wedding date, or sometimes it might be a pet name that you may have for each other. But obviously that can be decided throughout the months whilst we are designing your rings for you. Then also the week of the wedding, we would clean and polish your engagement ring, so it's all sparkly for the big day, and also we'd clean and polish your mum's rings as well, so just that they were all sparkly for her as well. When you collect the rings, both wedding rings are presented in a double ring box like this. We also give you a valuation, so you can notify your insurance of all the details, etc. And you also receive 2 little pouches, which obviously then the rings can go in on the day, which is a little bit easier to put in a pocket than it is in the actual box. Obviously at the moment the shop is closed, but there's still ways to contact us. You can either contact us by email, which is Craven Jewellers Live at .co.uk, or via our Facebook page, and send us a message. You can try and call, obviously sometimes we are here, but it would be best if you messaged us. We can also then contact you if you wanted to leave your telephone number when we are back open to make an appointment, which we can do for you. So I don't know if there's any questions come in or anything.
I don't know, Vicky, have we any questions that anybody has asked that we can answer?
We've had one question from Hannah Bastow. Do you do online consultations for bespoke rings at the moment?
Well, we haven't actually tried that, Hannah, but I'm sure it's something that we could do. There's no reason why not. Yeah. Or if you just wanted to give us a call, or message us on Facebook or email us, and I will give us a call, and I'll arrange a time to have a chat with you and talk with you on the phone about exactly what you're looking for. I think that's probably the best way to deal with that, actually. But we're open. It's all very new to us. This is our first virtual fair. I'm hoping that we'll be able to, if we do more with Fayres Yorkshire, take you into the workshop and show you exactly where the rings are made, and maybe even show you the polishing room and the plating baths, and just give you an indication of how the ring is made. Unfortunately, couldn't do that today, but that's something that we might be able to look into. But yeah, we're open-minded. We'll talk to you, Hannah. We'll go through it all with you, and you give us you message us, and we'll try and at least start that discussion. Okay, we're just about done. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you.